Today in this exercise, we want to do how to how to call this ChatGPT code via API. See, usually you go to the website and ask you your question, right? Okay, so here it is, and my question is, what is the capital of California? And the guy is gonna answer with the question. So that's fine. You do this from the application or from the website, but we need to do this from our own application to fit our own needs. So in order to do that, you need to use the API call. So to get started, we need some basic prerequisites. Here is, we need to know a little bit of Python. I guess you guys do that. You need some basic Unix commands, sudo, change ownership, all those goodies. You need to understand how the Apache works to enable it on the Mac. And you need, of course, the OpenAI API key. So this key, you just go to the website and they'll give it to you. It's free between quotes, meaning that, some places you need like a balance. Like in my case, I needed a $5 balance. I think that depends on where on the planet you are. So it depends where you are. If you just started, you might not have it in your Mac. You need, the first thing is brew. And the easiest way to get that one is, with this command right here. Obviously, you need to be connected to the internet. So you run that, and that will install the brew, or homebrew. All right, after you run that, the next thing to do, you do brew install Python 3. You might need to upgrade it, but you just run this command. And then you should have the pip after you do that. So you see, there you get the pip version. So we're all good. Using Python 3, same thing. We have this 3.13, so we're ready to go. Of course, you need to install the OpenAI module, right? So you do this with this command. And then after you run it, you're ready to go. So you're cool. All right. So now we have the basic tools. So let's get started. The first thing we need is to replicate this code on the website, making from our own side. In order to do that, we need to download some sample code. So let's go and grab some sample code and let's go from there. This is the very basic, simple sample code. You import the OpenAI library, punch in your key. This is your OpenAI API key that you get from their website. You set it up and you send in the question. Of course, you print out the answer. So that's quite simple, right? So we just save this code and we run it from the command line. We saved it and we go to the command line, a little Unix thingy. Let me run it. Python 3 test py. It's talking to, trying, and there it is. So we successfully run this code, this very basic code, and got our answer. So this is on the command line, very easy, right? But usually you want to have this off from a web server. So next step is put this on a web server. And the next thing, I'm on a Mac Sonoma, so we need to enable the web server. See, the Mac has the whole thing built in, but it comes disabled. The main thing is just go to the config file and enable the things that you need to do. In my case, I'm gonna use the very basic web server Apache, and I'm gonna call the Python via the CGI. Just very, very simple. Let's not get too fancy. If you guys know this, you can just skip to the next step. I have these markers there to skip. But anyway, so check out this website. This has a good set of instructions for all, the most common used versions. So in my case, it's Sonoma, so I got my Sonoma, I have it right here. What do you call the config file? In our case, is this file here. So this is the first command. You got to edit the files and follow the instructions here. So you grab the command, go to your command line, and run it. And as I said, I'm assuming you guys know how to use VI. It's very simple, but anyway, so this is the file you need to edit in order to enable the web server. So if you go here to instructions, blah blah blah, they're gonna tell you go to line this. Let's show you the first step, 174. So we go to that line. The VI command is there. You see, and it's telling you to enable this load. I already done that. So you just follow to these instructions and you save the file, and then you're good to go. Of course, yeah. Just to make sure, you have to restart the web server. You have to do a sudo because this is a super user command. Sudo apache control restart. So I did it. And finally we go to the local host. Let's see. Let me reload this. So you see it loaded this web page, which is located right here. Let me just show you for the sake of completion. All this is all basic stuff. You see, this web server usually, this is like, the generic web server for this machine. It goes here on the root of the hard drive on the library folder. Let me go back up here. So this is my root folder. I go to library, and then I go to web server. Okay, that's it. Right, this is your index file, which is the file showing up in the back, and here you put the CGI. Obviously you want to include here the Perl, right? I think I did a test here. Yeah, see, I put a test there. But anyway, you're not supposed to work there. I mean, you want to work locally in your local account. So that's on the next thing you have to do. You have to add another file. So let me go here to the instructions. You want to run a local web server. I mean, just belonging to your username. So you follow to these things, blah blah blah. Enable that. But then you get to a point you want to set this to enable your local. What do you call it? Local web server, right? This one. This is your local file, but you got to put here a username. Let me show you. The command line, do the sudo, issue that command, and there you are. See, on this file you have to enable your where is your home folder is going to be. In my case, I name this folder on my home root, and everything else works on the home, right? The CGI being is default a CGI being. So you edit this, you save it, and then just go to your local web server. In my case, it's right here. This is my username, and my this is my web folder I defined. So here I can put my little index files and my my CGI being. So the next thing to test is our local web server. So it's not the generic one. So we do it this way. In my case, I'm gonna load the basic local file, and there it is. This is my local file. This is this file right here, this index.html. Okay, and the last thing to go back to the what do you call the Python, we need to make sure that the CGI works. See, I have this file here is Perl. Just show you the code of this file. Okay. Anyway, this is a very basic Perl script. You know Perl, right? So you set your shebang for the Perl, and just print hello, and I just run this Perl command here. Let me put it here, and I think I called it. What did I call it? Let me go to the file thingy. I called it Tetsi Perl. All right, so let's do that. So that file is hanging from the CGI being, and it's called Tetsi Perl. And that's what it does. It just prints out that hello. So that's it. So at this point we have our local web server running, CGI being is working, and we're just ready to put on this Python. It's cool, right? So let's carry on. Initially, right? So now let's just run it from the CGI. Let me copy it over. You can do it. Then I put it on the CGI being. I already done it here, but I will do it again so I can show you how this thing works out. So we put it there, we paste the item, and there you go. So that's my test Python, which is this one right here. I show you this one works already on the command line, but now we want to get this running from the web server. If we just put it on, it's not gonna work, but we can always try it, right? So let's go. So this guy is called the test py. I just put it on. We run it. Obviously, I don't think it will run, but let's give it a shot. We get that, right? So there is a few things you got to do, to make sure that this thing is fine. First thing you got to check is that the file is executable. So back to the command line. That's what I was saying. You need some basic, where are we now? So let's go to this web folder, which is this one, CGI Bing. Right, we're there. Let's look at the files. And we see that this test file is not executable. So that's the first thing. We don't make it executable. Sometime I can type it right. Okay, we look at the files. Now it's executable, our test py. Let's try it again. Probably we need more, but let's just, for the sake of completion, let's try one more shot. Yeah, of course it doesn't run. All right, we're almost there, so let's carry on. Okay, so this is our file where we try to run. Of course, we get a 500 error, right? Is that meaning the file is there, but it's not set up properly. We just make it executable, but it still didn't work. So we had to put some sort of a debug. What do you call HTML? Right, this is my code starting. So that should be good. Yeah. I think the main thing was that the file was not saved. I made changes, but I kept skipping that message that says, use a sudo. That's all it was to it. All right, but let's try now taking stuff out. Okay, so I added these changes here. See, I added this little content and put some sort of a header. And now if I reload it, I'm getting actually some of that code printed out. You see, that is trying. That is trying. But it's not printing out my output, so we still have to do something else. Let's keep adding some more code to the basic script that we had. So probably I have to include these libraries here. There's some libraries I'm supposed to include. So I added that, put it here. I think it needs exception handling, but let me just try this, and then I do the exception handling. Let's save it. It wants to be a sudo. Let's do a sudo, otherwise it won't save it. If you don't look at that, I give you a lot of trouble because you don't know what's happening. You think it's going, but it's not going. That's what happened to me. But anyway, now I know what the deal is. So you put it there. Save. Now let's see if that little file helped. I don't think it helped, but let's give it a shot. Let's try. I'll see, now it's good, man. Now we got this problem. What is it saying? But we're getting close. We're getting close. I know, of course it's not OpenAI. Come on. Of course it didn't work because I'm not having the OpenAI. Import OpenAI. That was a basic small detail. I might not even need this, but let's try with and without. Just to simplify it. Yeah, last time I tried a whole bunch of things. See, we gotta do a sudo. We try a sudo. Alright, let's sudo it. Done. So I included a file there. And let's let the guy try it. It's trying. It worked. So that's what happened. All I needed was, I don't think I needed this. Let me just take it out just to keep it the very simplistic thing. I think that was to get that message, that message that I got before, but now we don't need it. We just want to get the code running just to prove the concept. So let's save it. Let's make again a sudo. Yeah, it wants to be a sudo. There you go. We punch in the password, saved it. Okay, so let's put it here. Let's reload it. It's trying, and it went. So that's it, it works. I think with these two lines I took off, you could get some more debug messages. Right, that was before, but now I got it. So as you can see, the very same code, we got it running from the web server. And within this web server, you can have your own web page and, do all your little things, talk to database, blah, 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 and then make a little call to the API. This is a very basic one, but now there's a whole bunch of APIs you can call and everything works. So that's cool, man. So guys, I leave it here. In the next shot, I'm going to put this into a web service and then make a little, iOS app, Android app, and call it from it. That'll be kind of fun. Let's try to make a better call. This is so simple question. There is a way to train. All right, let's leave it here. Have fun.